Good morning, everyone. Bill and Carrie here with KB Treks.
Good morning.
Oh, it's shaping up to be a beautiful morning. It is just before sunrise here in Hawaii. What's going on, hon?
So we are on the island of Oahu, and we are staying at the Sheraton Waikiki. We're right on Waikiki Beach. Gorgeous view. You can kind of see Diamond Head in our background a little bit as the sun is rising.
Turn that way. There it is. Yeah.
Yep, and we have an exciting day ahead of us. We are shifting gears a little bit. We are now no longer just Bill and Carrie on vacation. We are now doing what?
Okay, so the setup here is, if you've been following along, I'm actually in Hawaii here for work. Tough gig, right? We were able to extend our trip a few days ahead so that we can have a vacation, celebrate an anniversary, and we went to Lani. If you've seen those videos, if not, you can check those out. But I am here for Twin Cities Live, Hawaiian Tropical Adventure with Carrousel Travel. So we are traveling with 175 Twin Cities Live super fans, and we're going to visit 3 islands on this trip. We are going to start here in Oahu, and what's the whole plan here?
So we're here for another day. We leave tomorrow, and we're going to head over to the Big Island. So we'll be there for a few days.
The Big Island of Hawaii.
Yes, and then after that, then we spend a couple of days in Maui before our trip finally ends, and we will eventually have to go back home.
And we'll carry along through all these activities that we're going to be a part of through Carousel Travel and Twin Cities Live Tropical Hawaiian Adventure, and this is going to be a fun trip. So for now, we're going to go down and meet up with the group, and we're going to have breakfast, all part of the whole excursion trip thing. Oh, here we go. Sunrise is actually supposed to be about another half hour at about 7 a.m. and it's about 6:25 right now, but it's still, you know, very beautiful here, and we're looking down. We have a great view over the pools. Everything is just so nicely lit up, and you can see crew are getting ready for the day, getting all the chairs clean and set up for the loungers, and towels and everything to make everyone's day beautiful here in Hawaii. I still think it's crazy how many elevator banks that this hotel has. I mean, this is what, 10 elevators? 11 maybe? Oh, there's the entrance, and then you have to press the button in the middle here. Alright, we're going to head into breakfast at the market. So as part of our tour thing, they gave us coupons. So this is interesting. The menu looks like it's repeating itself, but basically it's the same thing in different languages. So there's the American or English version. This is a nice little place to eat. You got a nice view on the ocean. You can kind of see the sun starting to come up, but the best view is 180 from there.
Sure, whatever.
Sure, whatever. Wow, look at this. Carrie and I both got the same thing. We got the
Works omelet.
We got the Works omelet, and that looks amazing. At least potatoes look fantastic. It's technically a few minutes after sunrise, but we have yet to see the sun because it's behind Diamond Head there. But it is a beautiful morning. I love the temperature. It's a good temperature right now, just enough of a breeze to keep things cool. Are we having a good trip?
Yes, we're having a great trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was breakfast?
Breakfast was good. We both had the Works omelet. It was a little, it wasn't what I was expecting. I thought, you know, like it came with bacon or sausage, and I thought like that meant that would be in the omelet, but it's actually served with the omelet. So it was basically like a veggie omelet with a side of bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was still good. It was good, just not what I was expecting.
No, it was good.
Yeah.
And now we're just gotta wait for a few minutes because we're gonna get picked up in the front with a shuttle as part of our carousel excursion to go to Pearl Harbor. Alright, we gotta join the group. We have a coach bus for our tours for today, and everyone's kind of lined up. My understanding is we have about 90 people joining us so far. Here we go. Down the way there is the University of Hawaii. The university also has 11 satellite campuses around the islands.
Should you forget anything on the bus after the tour is over with?
We're getting close to Pearl Harbor. Across that bridge there, that's the entrance to the military base. Here we are, we're entering the Pearl Harbor parking area. We are fresh off the shuttle and we're getting ready to go into the Pearl Harbor where the USS Arizona is, or where we can get access to that. Here we go. We are entering into the memorial area of the park. Off in the distance is the USS Arizona. We're going to get a chance to explore a lot of this stuff after we get through the Arizona. But we have to go through that first because that's our ticket time.
You are on your way to the gravesite of over 900 sailors and Marines. It's a war grave, and we treat it as such. On December 7th, 1941, the entire island of Oahu was under attack. Every single military installation on this island was being bombed or strife with machine gun fire at the same time. Pearl Harbor, Hickam, Schofield, Fort Shafter, Wheeler, Everett, Bellows, Kaneohe Bay Naval Air Station at the time, now Marine Corps Base, they were all being obliterated. There were over 148 naval vessels in that harbor. 21 of them were badly damaged, 10 of them were sunk, and 4 of them were battleships. Those battleships were the USS Utah, the West Virginia, the Oklahoma, and the USS Arizona. Their friends, their families, and their loved ones, they come here to pay their respects. And we get the honor and the privilege to share this place of grievance with them. But you need to do it peacefully and respectfully.
We had to go straight to the memorial because of our time and the time that we arrived with our tour group. So we didn't get a chance to talk about it beforehand. Yeah, we went in. Actually, we thought it was a video, but they had a little set of instructions by one of the
Park rangers
here, and basically instructions on going over there. And it was very somber. Barely anyone really talked, and it was just a fascinating thing to see. Yeah, actually got emotional. My tie to this is my grandpa Earl, my dad's dad. He wanted to join the Navy with his best friend, William Hyde, and my grandpa couldn't join because he had death in one ear, and they wouldn't let him join. Otherwise, he would have gone with my, in a sense, great uncle, William Hyde. And he died on the Arizona on that day, on December 7th. And my dad is named after him. So in a sense, I am named after him. So it got really emotional for me to see his name, even though I never met the guy or knew very little about him. And so you can see from here, that is the memorial for the USS Arizona. That is that white structure with the flag. To the left of that is the USS Missouri battleship. That was the end of World War II, was on that battleship. That's where they signed the official surrender from Japan. And so it's very interesting that they have the beginning of the U.S. involvement in World War II on the right and the end of World War II on the left. Around the walkway here they have timelines and some information about what led up to the day and the day of, and just a timeline around the attack here at Pearl Harbor. So this is where we got in line to get onto the shuttle. They have a line for ticket and a standby line. We're going to go across to one of the museums. So this museum is about the attack. It's kind of hard to see because of the reflections, but this is a scale model of the Arizona and the Memorial. So you can see how the Arizona and the Memorial are at a 90-degree cross. We boarded here on this side with our boat, with our shuttle. And then on the right is the stack that we saw. The next building we're going to go into, they labeled it as the Road to War. So over there it kind of talks about the history and the tension in the Southeast Asia, and it also compares the timeline in Europe where World War II begins. And we're moving on. Some people think that the planes flew all the way from Japan to Oahu. So it's for scale, like there's Japan. It actually came off the cruiser here, the aircraft cruiser, and they flew just a couple miles north of Oahu. I'm not exactly sure how far away that is from Oahu, but that's where the aircraft carrier was, just a few miles north. At the other end, this is the Pacific Fleet Submarine Museum. This is something you have to pay for separately, which I had kind of pointed out a minute ago. You can also get a pass to cover everything. We're going to make our way out of the Pearl Harbor area here as part of our tour with Carrousel Travel, where we stopped and they got us tickets, so it was part of our excursion with them. They got us tickets to the USS Arizona Memorial, which was very nice. We're going to have a longer video on our visit here for those that are interested, but that was just really amazing to see, and I got overly emotional on that. But we're going to continue. We have more stops on this Twin Cities Live Hawaiian adventure. What's our next location?
We are doing, I don't know what necessarily our next locations are doing, but we are doing a historic Honolulu tour now.
You know, this day feels very nice to me. You got a nice breeze. It's cool, and there's actually like a very, very light sprinkle.
Tiny sprinkle. First raindrops we've felt since we've been on the island.
Yeah, we have not had any rain or anything like that we've really had on our trip here on day 5? Day 5. Day 5. Driving past Aloha Stadium. If you saw our vlog the other day, we were there for the flea market. We arrived at the Punch Bowl Cemetery, which honors the men and women who have died during World War II.
Yeah, and all those shrubs and trees, you see those concrete walls back there. And those walls back there are referred to as the columbarium. And that's where they place the cremational interns. This is the only type of new interments that they're still accepting in this national cemetery, which are the cremationals. They still have a few more hundred niches they can fill. Although they've already constructed under the Veteran Cemetery on the opposite side of the mountain to the right, out in the adventure of Kamehameha. As we complete this turn, up to the right, one will find 70 cases of stairs that leads up to the statue of Columbia. And in one hand, she holds the aloha branch, which represents peace. The other hand, an open palm as she comes in peace. But if you look very closely, she also stands on the prow of a naval battleship. The walls that surround her is what is referred to as the Gallery of Maps. Some of the different maps that are used in some of the different battles fought within the Pacific. Upon those marble tablets, they have inscribed over 29,000 names of men who were missing in action. What you're looking at here is only about half of the city, because the other half sits to our left on the opposite side of the cemetery. But again, it goes beyond that. You'll also find a few on the far northeast side of this island. There's more on the far west side of this island. Now they're starting to develop quite a bit on the far southwest of this side.
And down there in the middle is the Eternal Flame. And these are the royal palm trees. There's a little bit better view of the Eternal Flame. On the other side is the state capitol.
The people.
Kind of hard to see from our seat. And this is the governor's home. Across the street from the Capitol building.
So this building off to the right is referred to as the Alipiolani building, which in English meaning Heavenly Chief. It was constructed back in 1871 with the help of Kamehameha V, who also laid the first cornerstone of this building.
We're on a historic Honolulu tour. Across the street is the palace. What palace is that on?
Iolani Palace.
Yeah, well, it's open for tours. We're not going to be able to do that on this tour. But we're going to go check out the statue here. This is a statue of King Kamehameha. the great King Kamehameha, who combined the islands to be under one rule. So again, this is King Kamehameha. He combined the islands to be under one rule way back in 18 whatever it was. I can't remember my history, even though I just heard it. There's a better view of the palace, hopefully without any tour bus coming through for a moment. It's beautiful. We just had time for a quick stop, and now we're going to get back on the bus and continue our historic Hawaiian tour, historic Honolulu tour. Here we go past the King Kamehameha statue, and it's a federal building, a government building behind it. This is the territorial office building next door. And this is the Mission House Museum, where the first missionaries were allowed to stay when they came to Hawaii.
Built back in 1831. Then the one in the middle was the annex of the frame house sitting adjacent to it. It also served as a printing house, built back in 1830. And for the frame house that you see here, what you're looking at is the first prefabricated A-frame home to be shipped in from Boston, New England back in 1821. I'm talking about the Grass Shack now.
Hey everyone, in case you couldn't tell, we're back home in Minnesota. We traded in those white sandy beaches of Hawaii for the white snowy landscape of Minnesota. If you're new here, sometimes with these day type vlogs like this, when they get a little bit long, we try to break things up so that they're easier for you to watch. So that's what's going on with this. We're gonna break it up. So this end of part one. One thing we forgot to mention is that if you're interested in more in-depth look into Pearl Harbor, we do have a longer version of that vlog that will be coming up. You can always check that out. And but please do us a favor and subscribe. About 90% of our viewers are not subscribers, so help us flip that number, and also help the channel grow, help us reach our next goal of 2,000 subscribers. But please stay tuned for part two. We're going to go back to our hotel, and with that we have a Twin Cities Live welcome reception, because now we're part of the Twin Cities Live Tropical Hawaiian Vacation, sponsored by Carrousel Travel. So we're going to be a part of that. But we want to thank you for joining us. I'm Bill. You're watching KB Treks. Please do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Until then, good luck and have fun.